Hey guys, welcome to Last Movie Standing. Today I want to talk about 10 forgotten movies from 2004. Why 2004? I don't know. I thought it was a great year for movies and it just seemed like a nice random number. So I picked 10 movies that I really like, and some of these are only available on DVD. Some have Blu-rays. I just haven't upgraded yet. But they're not movies that a lot of people talk about. Ignore that white effing spot. You see that? My TV broke. And I got to deal with that. I got to get a new TV. Ugh, bugs me. Anyway, movie number 1 on this list, Layer Cake. If you've not seen Layer Cake, what are you doing with your life? Layer Cake is the directorial debut of Matthew Vaughn. He did Kick-Ass, Kingsman, Argyle. He was also a producer on Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Him and Guy Ritchie kind of came up together. And originally, Matthew pitched this for Guy Ritchie to direct. But Guy Ritchie was like, nah, maybe you should. And this was Vaughn's directorial debut. And if you know Matthew Vaughn's style, if you've seen his movies, he has a very particular style. It's not in this. This is a very serious London gangster movie. This is the movie that got Daniel Craig James Bond. Like, it really is. And you can see it in here. This movie's better than half of his, or most of his, James Bond movies. And I love Daniel Craig as James Bond. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. But it's got Sienna Miller in it. So many good people. The music in this is absolutely amazing. Very, very high recommend for Layer Cake. Very high recommend. Next, we got Spanglish. This is a very underrated Adam Sandler movie. Very underrated. It's a comedy, but it's Adam Sandler being serious at the same time. Who directed this? James, I don't know who the director is. But Adam Sandler plays a chef, and he's married to T. Leone. She's the girl from Bad Boys 1. It's really one of the only things I know her from. And their relationship is just they have different parenting styles, essentially, which causes kind of rift in their relationship. Their daughter is a little bit more on the heavyweight side, and the mom keeps trying to push her to like lose weight and do other things, and the dad just wants her to be herself. And they're this pretty rich family. Like, he's the owner of like a 5-star, restaurant, or he's a chef at it, and they go basically on vacation. Well, they hire a maid, essentially, and it's this very beautiful Hispanic woman. Barely speaks English, but she's not overly beautiful. She's not like overly sexy. She kind of gets a little sexier as we go on, but it's kind of this cool, like this weird trade-off where she has a daughter, and she doesn't want her daughter to be influenced by, American culture and these rich people, but Adam Sandler's wife just falls in love with the daughter more than her own daughter and is taking her shopping, and it really causes this rift. Really great family drama movie, but it's a comedy. And if you've not seen Spanglish, if you're into Adam Sandler, check it out. Like I said, it's not silly Adam Sandler. It's very serious Adam Sandler, but in a comedy, which is a weird mix, but it works so well. Haven. Haven is an Orlando Bloom movie that it blew me away when I saw it. This was a Blockbuster find. I found the DVD at Blockbuster. This just came out recently, the Blu-ray from MVD. And when I found it, I was like, ooh, got to grab it. This takes place, I forgot the name of the island, but it takes place in the Caribbean. It's got Orlando Bloom. I'm just going to name the cast right now. Anthony Mackie, like a young Anthony Mackie. Bill Paxton is in this movie. Zoe Saldana is in this movie. It kind of follows different stories, but they all intertwine. And the style and the direction of this movie is really unlike most movies you've ever seen. It is so good. Very much I want to say a thriller. Very much a thriller, but it's drama. Very high recommend if you're into these independent. I want to say it's an independent film. It feels like an independent film, but it doesn't have that low budgetness to it. And if you're into Bill Paxton, watch this movie. Like, this is a Bill Paxton movie you've probably never seen before, but very high recommend for Haven. Breaking All the Rules. Ooh, I've just revisited this like recently for the first time, and probably since this came out. Like, I remember the story, but rewatching it, oh my god, this movie is so good. Jamie Foxx, Gabrielle Union, Morris Chestnut. This is back when Morris Chestnut, or is it Maurice? Morris Chestnut was like a big thing. This is so okay. They're the before I get into the story, they're the character in here. So Gabrielle Union plays like a doctor or a nurse at a hospital. And you remember Blue from Old School? He's in this. I'm just gonna play the clip right here.
Mr. Lynch, how many times have I told you don't have to take your clothes off for therapy?
Oh, my dick.
Okay, I'll come back when you get dressed.
This old man is such a pervert. I love it. Like, if I'm single at that, dude, I hope to be that bold when I'm that old. Like, this dude has no shame, and it just plays throughout the whole movie. I love this. This old white man is one of the funniest things in this whole movie. And there's what is her name? Jennifer Esposito.
Philip, you look like you swallowed a spider.
Well, I didn't just swallow a spider.
A rat?
No. You want to know what it's about?
What you swallowed?
Why I am sulking?
It kind of just looks like you're constipated. What's on your mind, big boy?
She's so sexy, and she's engaged to this white dude who wants to break up. He spends all story time. Okay, so this movie follows Jamie Foxx, who works at this like book magazine editor. I think it's a book company. Very by the book kind of guy, and he's head over heels for this girl. And she breaks up with them. And when she breaks up with them, he goes, he sinks. Morris Chestnut is his cousin. Morris Chestnut is very much like, he's a player. He also works for the company. He's a player. He's dating Gabrielle Union and everything. Well, Jamie Foxx, after like a couple months, he writes this manifest. Like, it starts off as like letters to his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, and then it just manifests into this, it evolves into this book. So he publishes this book, basically how to break up with your spouse and everything, and he kind of becomes the expert on it. And there's a part where, you know, he's giving his cousin Morris Chestnut advice, and he starts dating Gabrielle Union. And at the beginning of the movie, when you see her, she's getting her hair cut. And it's a cameo by Octavia Spencer. Like, that's how old this is. Octavia Spencer was like in like a one little scene role back in these days. But she gets her hair cut like Halle Berry. Like, that's her whole thing. And Morris Chestnut is like, she has this thing like, hey, I want to talk. Because she's nervous about her hair, so she tells Morris Chestnut from a different room, like, hey, we need to talk. And he freaks out, runs to his cousin Jamie Foxx, and is like, hey, you need to go see this girl for me. Let me know, because he thinks he's going to break up with her. So he sends his cousin Jamie Foxx to go scope out the situation. He thinks she still has long hair. So he meets this girl at the bar with Gabrielle Union with short hair. Basically, compliments her, says she looks like Halle Berry. They kind of fall in love. Great romantic comedy. Very high recommend. It's so funny. Very underrated. When people think of Jamie Foxx, they go to Booty Call, they go to Ray, they go to a lot of his modern stuff, but Breaking All the Rules still holds up to this day. Such a great comedy. Another MVD video Blu-ray just came out, Sleepover. This is a coming of age teenage girl movie. One that very much so cannot get made today. Like, at all. Just because of kind of the themes in this movie. It's PG. But still, even for a PG movie, you can't make this kind of movie today. Steve Carell is in this. Steve Carell plays the neighborhood watch cop, and he is so funny. I think this was around the time of 40-year-old virgin. So Steve Carell wasn't that big yet of an actor. So he just has like a small little role, but he's in the movie quite a bit, and it's so funny. Basically, these girls playing a sleepover, and they want to sneak out to this party. Is it the party or the prom or the dance? I think it's the dance. I totally forgot. The cast in this is absolutely amazing. It's got the dad from Goldberg's. The mom is Jane Lynch, who was also in 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's got a young Brie Larson who plays one of the teenage mean girls. One of the head, I guess, mean girls in this is what's her name? She was the girl who was in the remake of The Last House on the Left. But like I said, this is very much a coming of age girly movie. Oh, it's got Evan Peters in it. The guys in this movie are really funny. Good movie. Definitely check it out, especially if you're from this time period. It holds a lot of nostalgia. So, Finding Neverland. Finding Neverland is a movie I just revisited, probably for the first time in 20 years. Like, this is 20 years ago. Well, no, I've seen it a couple times since, but it's been so long since I've seen this. I watched this, like, do I want to upgrade this? Like, is this worth? This was gonna be in a purge section, but rewatching this, I can't get rid of this movie. Like, I forgot how sad and heartwarming this movie is. Finding Neverland is a movie. I need to upgrade it because it's full screen. Just full screen version. Finding Neverland is a movie. It's set in like the early 1900s. Like I think 1903 is when it starts. This movie is about the guy who wrote Peter Pan. And I don't know if this is based on a true story or not, to be honest. I don't remember if it said. It's directed by Mark Foster, who he also did like World War Z. I forgot what else he did. He did a few things and then just like really fell off. But Johnny Depp plays a playwright who, you know, very like aristocratic London kind of thing. It's kind of set around the time, well, around in 1901, so around the same time period as like From Hell, like Jack the Ripper kind of thing, but much more happy and all that. He's writing a play, 'cause it opens up with him at his playhouse, who the playhouse is owned by Dustin Hoffman. Really good in this movie. I love their friendship. I almost wish Dustin Hoffman was in here more. He's not in here enough. The play bombs, so he's got to come up with a new play. And he meets Kate Winslet and her 3 boys. She's a widow, and she's got 4 boys. She's got these 4 boys, and is it 3 or 4? 4 boys. Yeah, 4 boys, because the one's like really, really little. And he gets inspired, and it causes rifts, like him and his wife. His wife, I forgot her name. I think she's an Australian actress. She's just, they just don't belong together, you know? And it's got this really great moment in the movie. Oh my gosh, I forgot how great it was. It was back in the time where they slept in different rooms in houses, you know, with a husband and wife, where they only got together when they were wanting to have sex, but they lived in 2 different rooms. There's a part where they're having this discussion and they go to separate rooms. Like, you can tell they're just not on the same wavelength. One of the scenes where they open the door at the same time and they close the door at the same time. When she opens the door, it's just a normal room. When he opens the door, it's like a bright, sunny day. Like, he's going into his imagination, and it's really cool. And it's kind of like he's inspired by these 3 boys to write Peter Pan. And it kind of shows all the influences and everything. It's very much a Peter Pan movie. And it's so heartwarming and sad. Like, somebody dies in this movie. I'm not going to say who if you haven't seen it. And it's so good. Especially like being an adult and remembering it's okay to be like a kid again and have imagination. Like, such a good movie. I forgot how good this movie was. I'm so glad I revisited it. Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. This movie is so good. I love this movie on so many levels. I love the cast. Topher Grace. God, I'm forgetting all their names. But Kate Boswell, Josh Duhamel from Duhamel. From Transformers. He was married to Fergie for a while. Lucky bastard. This is a romantic comedy, and the cinematography. Oh my god, I love the cinematography. I love the wedding cake kind of lighting and look it has. So basically, Josh Duhamel plays is it Duhamel? Duhamel. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Josh Duhamel plays a celebrity. He's like the biggest movie star in the world, but he's kind of falling on rocky time. So they do a sweepstakes, and Kate Boswell and Topher Grace work in this little small town like Alabama, something kind of Midwestern town, and she wins this contest to go out to Hollywood to see him and everything. And Topher Grace has been like in love with her his whole life, but they're just like friends, and she really wants him, but no, he really wants her, but she doesn't see it. So this movie star, they have this date in LA and nothing really happens to it. She kind of is like, I'm just going to go home. Well, he kind of realizes he needs to feel like a normal person, the actor Josh Duhamel. So he goes to her small town to visit her, and Topher Grace goes crazy. And it's like this whole like triangle of love kind of a thing for Topher Grace to win the girl back. Such a heartwarming movie. Love this movie, but really, I love the cinematography. I love the look of this movie. It's so pretty. Club Dread. I've brought this up before on a DVDs that haven't come to Blu-ray. We need Club Dread on Blu-ray so bad. This does have. Let me show the back. Nice little cover art. This is from Broken Lizard, so it's from the guys who did Super Troopers. This and they did like Beer Fest and I think a few other ones, but this one's my favorite. This is my second favorite. Other than Super Troopers, I love Club Dread. Basically, it's a satire on the whole. You're going to Love Island to meet singles, but there's a killer on the island and you don't know who it is. Really funny. They have an unrated DVD of this, which I haven't got. I actually went to go buy it, and then I bought it. It's like $3.99. And then I opened it up, and it's the same disc as this. Somebody put the wrong disc in. I was so mad. But I looked it up, and it's really not that much difference. There is nudity. There's blood. This is a rated R movie. Is it rated R? Yep, it's rated R, but it's also Fox Searchlight. So unless a boutique picks this up from Sony, which I could totally see a boutique. This is, if I were to pick a boutique, this feels like a which Scream Factory picked this up? I don't know. What do y'all think? Who would pick this up? Because Sony's not going to release this, but we need this on Blu-ray so bad. Number 9, Flight of the Phoenix. Dennis Quaid, Tyrese, Giovanni Ribisi, Hugh Laurie is in this movie. This is a remake from a, was it a 60s? I don't know if it was a 50s or a 60s movie of the same name. But basically, a cargo plane crashes in the middle of the desert, and they have to survive. And the only way they have to survive, and there's a bunch of people who don't really like each other. They're going, it's kind of like The Gray. You ever seen the Gray where, these people out on deployment in the middle of the snow and they get in a plane crash and they all have to survive? Kind of like that, but in the desert. And it's not as like dramatic as that where you got wolves chasing you, but they do have like the locals who, I forget where they land. It's like the Middle East somewhere, I think. And they basically have to fin together to survive. Oh, it's also got the Hispanic guy. I don't know his name. He played a little Joker in Next Friday. Love him. He plays the chef in this movie, and they basically have to rebuild their plane to get out of there because nobody's coming. Really good movie. I want to see the original. I haven't seen the original, but I want to check it out. Last on this list, Closer. The fact that I do not own this on Blu-ray yet is a crime, and I'm mad at myself right now thinking about this. This movie, have you ever seen those memes online, the Star Wars ones, about sexy Padme, and she's got this pink wig on, and she's a stripper, and you're like, what Natalie Portman movie is it? It's this movie. It is this movie. It is a Mike Nichols movie. Mike Nichols. What else did Mike Nichols do? He did Charlie Wilson's War. Did he do The Graduate too? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Okay, I had to look it up real fast. An iconic director. He did The Graduate, this movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Birdcage, Working Girl, Charlie Wilson's War, Regarding Henry. Iconic director. This movie's got Julia Roberts, Clive Owen, Jude Law, Natalie Portman. All should have won Oscars for this movie. Everyone should have won an Oscar for this movie. Their performances. There's a scene where Clive Owen and Julia Roberts, they're married at the time, and they're getting into a discussion because, you know, it's kind of like a love triangle square kind of movie where Julia Roberts and Clive Owen are a couple, and Julia Roberts, Clive Owen are a couple, Jude Law and Natalie Portman are a couple, but Jude Law has slept with Julia Roberts, and Clive Owen slept with Natalie Portman, and it's kind of this whole thing. But there's a scene where where Julia Roberts is kind of confessing to Clive Owen. He just gets back from a business trip, kind of a thing, and he's like unpacking, and she feels guilty, so they're having this conversation, and he wants to know every detail. It's like a real conversation. Like, they even, excuse me, like, I'm gonna play a clip because I can't describe it better.
Did you touch yourself while he f***ed you?
Yes.
You wank for him?
Sometimes.
And he does?
We do everything that people who have sex do.
You enjoy s***ing him off?
Yes.
You like his c***?
I love it.
You like him coming in your face?
Yes.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like you, but sweeter.
That's the spirit. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Now f*** off and die.
I want to show the Natalie Portman clips, but they may get me in trouble on YouTube. Jude Law, I love Jude Law. Really love Jude Law. And his range in this, like, he plays a little bitch in this, you know, but and Clive Owen is just that super alpha male. I don't wonder what happened to Clive Owen. He was like on the trajectory, you know, and the beautiful song. Oh my God. What was it? The Blow Dryer's Daughter? Something. I forgot the name of the song. The song is just, and they play it at the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie. Oh my God. Natalie, they all should have won Oscars. Watch this for performance. If you've never seen this, very, very, very high recommend for a closer. I don't feel like anybody talks about this movie. You know, this was a blockbuster find for me. This is still a blockbuster case. Still a blockbuster case. Love this movie. I'll probably go upgrade it. Next week is Labor Day. Tons of sales. I'm going to go find this and upgrade it. Please watch this movie if you've never seen it. If you like any of these actors, you should like all these actors, but check this movie out. The Blower's Daughter. It says it right here because it includes the music video. The Blower's Daughter. Why did it say the Blow Dryer's Daughter? I knew it was Blow something. And the quote says, "At last, a love story for adults." If this is a love story for adults, man, I don't want to be an adult. That's why I watch high school movies. Like, for real. So those are 10 movies from 2004 that I feel are criminally underrated and forgotten about. Like I said, half of these are on DVD, half of them aren't, and some of them we need on DVD, like on Blu-ray, because like Breaking All the Rules, not available on Blu-ray at all. That would look really good on Blu-ray. There's a lot of that time period. Came out in 2004. Blu-rays came out in 2006. So it's in that 2004 and 2005 is that wedge of movies that I feel are really forgotten because they missed the Blu-ray window, and a lot of these just haven't been upgraded yet, which sucks. But if you can think of any more movies from 2004 that I left off, let me know in the comments below. And let me know if you've never heard of these and you check them out and you like them. Let me know in the comments below because I love getting y'all's feedback when like I get messages from y'all on Instagram all the time like, hey, I bought this movie because you recommended it and I love it. And that means so much to me. Even if it's just one person, I said two. One person checks out a movie that I recommend and they like it. It just makes me love this community even more. But definitely check. I recommend all of these movies. Some may be some people's taste and some not, but I recommend all of these for sure.